I walked into my childhood home and asked one simple question. Where's Mom's locket? My stepmom didn't even look up from her phone. Oh, that ugly old thing? I got $20 for it at the yard sale last month. $20. For the only piece of my mother I had left. The locket she gave me 2 weeks before she died. The one I wore every single day until I moved out. The one I left in my locked bedroom drawer because I thought it would be safe. That ratty costume jewelry? Candace laughed. Honey, it was taking up space. How do you sell someone's last memory of their mother? I stood there, shaking. I couldn't speak. I thought I'd lost my mom all over again, but here's what I didn't know yet. That locket wasn't costume jewelry. It was worth more than everything Candace owned, more than the house, more than her car, and she had no idea what she'd just done. Drop a comment, where are you watching from, and what time is it there? And hit that like button if you've ever had someone throw away something irreplaceable. Because what happened next? She never saw it coming. Let me back up. My mom died of cancer when I was 13. Ovarian, stage 4, 6 months from diagnosis to the end. 2 weeks before she passed, she called me into her hospital room. She was so small by then, but her hands were steady when she placed the locket around my neck. Keep this safe, she whispered. Always. It was silver, delicate, worn smooth at the edges. On the front was a tiny engraved rose. Inside, a photo of the two of us at the beach. I never took it off. 2 years after Mom died, my dad remarried. Candace was younger, polished. She had opinions about everything. And one by one, she erased my mother from that house. Mom's books, donated, her china, sold, the piano she used to play, gone. Candace redecorated. New paint, new furniture, new family photos on the wall, none of them included me. By the time I turned 18, I didn't feel like I lived there anymore. I felt like a guest, so I moved out, went to college across the country, started building my own life, but I left a few things in my old bedroom. Things I thought would be safe in a locked drawer. The locket, a box of Mom's papers, some photos. I was 25 now. I'd just come home for a visit. And that's when I found out the locket was gone. My mom was a planner. She kept every document, every receipt, every record. I inherited that habit from her. I didn't know it then, but that habit was about to save me, because Candace had been planning this for months. I found Candace in the kitchen, scrolling through her phone. Candace, I need to ask you something. Mom's locket, the silver one with the rose, where is it? She barely glanced up. Oh, that ratty old thing, I sold it. My stomach dropped. You what? Relax. I got $20 for it at a yard sale last month. It was just sitting there collecting dust. That was my mother's. She shrugged. You moved out. You don't even live here anymore. I can't keep a museum of your childhood forever. I tried to stay calm. Who did you sell it to? I'll buy it back. I have no idea. Some woman, didn't get her name. Candace, please, that locket meant everything to me. She set her phone down and looked at me for the first time. If it meant so much, you should have taken it with you. My dad walked in then. I turned to him. Dad, did you know about this? He looked uncomfortable, guilty. Honey, let's not fight. Candace was just cleaning out some clutter. I'm sure we can find you a new locket. I don't want a new locket. I want Mom's. Candace stood up. This is my house now. I decide what stays and what goes, and I'm done talking about this. She walked out. My dad wouldn't look at me. I had 72 hours before my flight home. 72 hours to find the only thing I had left of her. I spent the next 2 days searching. I posted in every local yard sale group on Facebook. I called pawn shops, antique stores, estate liquidators. Nothing. Then I started digging into Candace's social media. That's when I found the photos. Mom's wedding china, sold on Marketplace 8 months ago. Her collection of first edition books, donated to Goodwill. Even her piano. The one she played every Sunday morning. Gone. Candace had been systematically erasing my mother for years, and my dad let her. I tried one more thing. I went to the bank where Mom used to have an account. I'm sorry, the teller said. Those accounts were closed years ago, transferred to your father's name, and he added his wife as joint holder. Candace had access to everything. I sat in my car in that parking lot and felt completely powerless. No locket, no money to hire a lawyer, no way to fight back. Then I remembered something. Mom didn't just say the locket was special. She made me promise to keep it safe. Why? Why would she say that about a piece of costume jewelry? Unless it wasn't just a locket, I remembered one more place I hadn't checked. Mom's storage unit. I'd kept paying the $20 monthly fee for 12 years, never cleaned it out, never looked inside. Maybe, just maybe, there was something there. I drove to the storage facility that afternoon, Unit 47. I hadn't opened it in over a decade. Inside, everything was covered in dust, boxes of clothes, old furniture, and in the back corner, a small waterproof file box. The label was in my mother's handwriting, for my daughter. Open on your 25th birthday. My hands were shaking. I turned 25 3 months ago. I opened it. Inside was a letter, handwritten, dated 2 weeks before she died, the same day she gave me the locket. I read it out loud, even though I was alone. My darling girl. If you're reading this, I'm gone. And you're 25. The locket I gave you isn't just a keepsake. Inside is something very important. You'll need it to access what I left for you. I couldn't give you much while I was alive. But I made sure you'd be taken care of. Keep the locket safe. Trust no one. I love you. Mom. Underneath the letter was a legal document, a trust instrument, dated the year before she died. It named me as the sole beneficiary. And it referenced a token of access required upon reaching age 25. The estimated value? $485,000. The locket wasn't sentimental. It was a literal key. And Candace sold it for $20. I drove straight back to the house. I found my dad alone in the garage. I showed him the letter, the trust document. He read it twice, his eyes filled with tears. I didn't know, he said quietly. She never told me. Dad, there's money, a lot of money. And the locket is the only way to access it. He looked up at me. We'll get it back, I promise. We'll find whoever bought it, and the garage door opened. Candace stood there. She'd been listening. Her face went pale, then red. Money, she said. What money? I shouldn't have said anything, but I was exhausted. Mom left me a trust. The locket is the key to access it. Candace's whole demeanor changed. Suddenly she was helpful, concerned. Oh my God, honey, I wish I'd known. Let me help. I think I wrote down the buyer's information somewhere. Let me check my records. She was lying. I could see it in her eyes. How much? She asked. How much what? How much money did your mom leave? I didn't answer. She turned to my dad. If there's family money involved, we deserve half. We've been raising her. I moved out at 18. She ignored me. You have until Sunday night to find that locket, and when you do, we split whatever's inside, 50-50, or you can leave and never come back. My dad said nothing. She was scared, which meant she knew, and if she knew, she never sold that locket. I called the number Candace gave me. A woman answered. Hi, I'm trying to track down a locket you might have bought at a yard sale last month. Oh yeah, the little silver one. Honestly, it broke like a week later. Cheap clasp, you want it back. My heart sank. Can you send me a photo? She texted it 2 minutes later. I zoomed in. Different clasp, different engraving, wrong locket. Candace sold her a fake. I pulled up public records online. You can find almost anything if you know where to look. Credit card filings under my dad's name. $43,000 in debt. A mortgage application from 4 months ago. Denied. And then I found it. A request log from the bank. 6 months ago, someone tried to access my mother's old safety deposit box. The request was denied. Reason, unable to provide required secondary authentication token. Candace knew about the inheritance. She tried to get into the box. She couldn't because she didn't have the key. So she hid the real locket, sold me a fake story, and hoped I'd never find out. She tried to steal my inheritance and failed. Now I knew exactly where to look. I went deeper. Candace's Instagram was public. I scrolled back 6 months. Paris, designer bags, spa weekends. First-class flights. Every photo had the same caption energy. Blessed, living my best life. Grateful, my dad's salary, $55,000 a year. He's a high school history teacher. He didn't pay for any of this. I checked her tagged photos. There, a casino in Atlantic City, twice in 3 months. I pulled her credit report. You can do that if you're listed on family accounts. $12,000 in cash advances, all from casinos. Then I found the mortgage denial letter in the recycling bin outside. I'm not proud of that, but I was desperate. The reason for denial? Insufficient equity and borrower creditworthiness. She tried to take a second mortgage on my dad's house to cover her debts. When that didn't work, she went looking for another way out. Mom's trust. I called the estate attorney listed on the trust document, left a voicemail. She called me back an hour later. Yes, the trust is still active. Estimated value is between $485,000 and $525,000, but we can't distribute without the key and proof of age. Candace wasn't just greedy, she was desperate. And desperate people make mistakes. Saturday night, Candace and my dad went out to dinner. I waited until I saw their car leave. Then I used the old house key I never gave back. I know, it was risky, maybe even illegal, but she stole from me first. I went straight to her bedroom, checked the nightstand. Nothing, the dresser, nothing. Then I saw it. A small jewelry box on the top shelf of her closet. Cheap combination lock. I tried her birthday, didn't work. I tried my dad's, didn't work. Then I tried my mom's birthday. Click. Inside, wrapped in tissue paper, was the locket, my mother's locket. I opened it with shaking hands. The photo of us was still inside, but there was something else. A tiny brass key, tucked into a hidden compartment behind the photo, and engraved on the inside rim of the locket numbers. An account number. I took photos of everything. Then I slipped the locket into my pocket, left everything else exactly as I found it. I called the estate attorney on my way out. I have the key, I said, and I want to press charges. I didn't want revenge. I wanted justice, and I was about to get it. Monday morning, 10 a.m., I walked into the bank with my attorney. Her name was Ms. Ortiz. She didn't smile much. I liked that. The trust officer was a woman in her 60s, kind eyes. She looked at the locket, the letter, and my ID. May I? She asked. I handed her the tiny brass key. She unlocked the safety deposit box. Inside was a manila envelope. She opened it in front of me. First, an updated will, handwritten, notarized, everything to me. Second, stock certificates, $290,000 in value. Third, a life insurance trust, $485,000, and one more letter from my mom. Some people will not have your best interests at heart. Protect yourself. I love you. The trust officer looked up at me. Ms. Reyes, I need to tell you something. 6 months ago, a woman came in claiming to be you. She had a fake ID and a fake key. We flagged it immediately and filed a police report. My stomach dropped. Do you still have that report? She slid a copy across the table. There was Candace's name, her photo from the security camera, everything. 2 days later, I called a family meeting, my attorney's office. Conference room, projector on the wall. My dad sat on one side, Candace on the other. Ms. Ortiz didn't waste time. She put the first slide up. Photo of the real locket, recovered. Second slide. Bank fraud report, Candace's face, date and time stamp. Third slide. Credit card statements, $43,000 in debt. Casino cash advances highlighted. Fourth slide. The trust documents, $485,000. Sole beneficiary, me. Candace's face went white. This is a lie. She's making this up. That money should be community property. Ms. Ortiz didn't blink. Mrs. Reyes, the trust was established years before your marriage. You have no legal claim. What you do have is a criminal complaint for identity theft, attempted fraud, and theft by deception. She slid the papers across the table. You'll be hearing from the district attorney's office. Candace looked at my dad. He wouldn't look back. The meeting was over. Candace was arrested 4 days later. She was charged with identity theft and attempted bank fraud. Her lawyer negotiated a plea deal, 2 years probation, full restitution for the debts she racked up in my dad's name, and a permanent no-contact order. She's not allowed to contact me. Ever. My dad filed for divorce a week later. He didn't fight it, didn't defend her. I think he finally saw who she really was. He's in therapy now. We have coffee once a week. But I made one thing very clear. I love him, but we have separate finances. Separate lives, boundaries, because boundaries aren't walls. They're just lines that say, this far and no farther. I used part of the inheritance to pay off the credit card debt Candace created in his name. He didn't ask me to, but it wasn't his fault. And I didn't want her to destroy him, too. I put the rest of the money to work. I bought a small house, nothing fancy, but it's mine. I set up an education fund. I donated $50,000 to the hospice where my mom spent her last days. They're building a meditation garden in her name, and I started a scholarship for kids who lost a parent to cancer, because I know what that feels like. Every morning, I put on the locket. I wear it every single day now. My mom knew I'd need protection, even after she was gone. She turned a $20 piece of jewelry into a $500,000 shield. Not everyone who smiles at you wants the best for you. Not everyone who calls themselves family acts like it. And not everything valuable looks expensive. My mom taught me that the people who truly love you will find a way to protect you, even from beyond the grave. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had someone dismiss or throw away something precious, only for you to discover its true worth later? Maybe it was an object. Maybe it was a relationship. Maybe it was you. Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And if you believe in protecting what matters and standing up to people who steal from the ones they're supposed to love, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. You won't regret it. This story is a fictionalized dramatization inspired by real events. It is not legal, financial, or investment advice. Always consult qualified professionals for your specific situation. I'm still here. I'm still standing. And I'm wearing my mother's locket.